This is a shot of the desk that I built for my ham radio station. I repurposed a piece of countertop, Formica countertop that had been left over from a project, and I put 4 legs on it and made my ham shack desk out of that. I've got a couple of issues with it, so today we're going to address a couple of those issues. First, this countertop, of course, as most do, came from the factory with a backsplash. Now, if you're in a kitchen, that's just fine. But what I found for radios is that with radios stacked up and amplifiers and things stacked up here, all of the cables have to move 90 degrees off the back of the radio and then travel out and over to where my window pass-through is. What I'd like to do is cut off the backsplash and then put a shelf down here to hold my computer tower. The computer tower used to be on the floor, but in an old house like this, dust is a real problem. And I need to be able to sweep underneath this desk pretty much twice a week. I'm just putting on some masking tape to help alleviate chip out. It's probably not going to keep it all from chipping, simply because I don't have a fine-tooth blade for the circular saw, but it will prevent some. And realistically, this is a working table anyway. I'm not too concerned about the looks. The saw will use the table as a guide for cutting. So it's going to leave a lip on the back of the shelf, or on the back of the table. There'll still be a little bit of a lip there, but that's okay. A small amount of lip is all right, because as you know, that pencil that gets away from you and it rolls all the way down here, it won't roll off the back. But it will get rid of most of this chunk of backsplash, which will allow me to get my cables hidden, hidden, organized back behind here in a better way. And it will prevent me from having all of my cables bunched up along the backsplash in the back. Leftover masks from COVID. My wife made these. They even have a little wire in the nose to help keep them attached. The only problem is they do fog up my safety glasses. What are you going to do? It's better than breathing in Formica and particle board, which is not a good thing. All right. Boy, not too bad. Oh, I think that's pretty clean. There's hardly any chip out at all. All right, let's go take a look. Yeah, that's pretty clean. That'll do just fine. All right, that's actually better than I anticipated. That doesn't have any chip out at all. That's a nice clean cut. I'll give it just a touch with a sanding block and some sandpaper just to kind of keep it from being so sharp, but that'll work. I'm going to use a piece of shelving down between 2 legs to create a shelf for the little mini PC. It's got to be 19.5 inches to fit between the legs. I'm going to cut that over on the chop saw. All right, I've got some measurements made to notch the board. Basically what's going to happen is there'll be a cutout in each end like this that's going to fit over these legs, around these legs. So then I have something I can screw to the leg to hold the shelf. Otherwise I have to put supports underneath and things like that. And I really don't want to add any more weight to this. It's just heavy enough that I can get it inside the house and outside of the house myself. Not that I have to do that very often, but I do have to move this desk around a lot, because I like to experiment. I like to put up new antennas and I like to try different radios, different configurations. So I'm always kind of pulling the desk away from the wall, reconfiguring things, and then pushing it back against the wall again. So this way I'll be able to leave the computer attached and enough slack in the electrical cords to be able to move it out a little bit, reconfigure, and then put it back in. So I'll cut these notches at the table saw and then finish them off with a handsaw. Well, my notches aren't perfect, but they fit, and this will make a perfect shelf. All I have to do now is drill and screw it in from the side, and it'll be set. It's just loose enough right now that I can move it around a little bit. I'll level it up, screw it in, and then the mini computer tower will sit right here with plenty of room underneath to sweep. All right, well, we have the desk modified to suit our needs now. The backsplash has been cut down. I sanded it. It's nice and smooth, very little chip out. So now I'll be able to get the cables for my radios up and over the back a lot easier. Some of them will still run along the back and stuff, but this gives me a lot more clearance. I also have the shelf on the feet for the computer. There it is right there. So the PC will sit here, the mini PC will sit here with enough clearance underneath that I can sweep. Gets it up off the floor. There's a little block right back here. The power supply actually sits here for the PC. It's got a block power supply, separate power supply than the PC has no internal power supply. It sits on a wire back here. So I put this little block here to mount the power supply. So PC here, power supply here, everything up off the floor. All right, well that does it for today. Get the camera back up here. All right, excuse the mess in the back. I know, I have a very messy garage and I apologize for that. But hi, I'm Robert, KE0STT. Thanks so much for watching today. We'll be back next time with another video. We're going to reconfigure the pass-through from the outside of the house to the inside of the house. It goes through a window and it needs an upgrade. It's cold, very cold, and it's going to be colder. We're expecting a cold snap here in the Midwest. We're going to get down. Wind chills will be in the -20s in my location. Very, very chilly. So I don't know how much outdoor work I'll be doing, certainly not in the garage, but perhaps we'll still manage to get a few things done. Once again, I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for joining. Please like and subscribe, and I appreciate it, and hopefully you're a ham like me. Take care.